Welcome to the Blogger Genius Podcast, brought to you by Milo Tree. Here's your host, Jillian Leslie.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today, I have as my guest, Cristina Auffant. And Cristina and her sister Maggie own an online store called Via Blossom. It's VIA Blossom, and they sell some of the most beautiful party supplies I've ever seen. So welcome to the show, Cristina.
Thank you, Jillian. It's such a pleasure, and what a beautiful intro.
Oh, so a couple things. One, we met by sharing a cab late at night. I was flying into a conference. I was in my sweatpants. I looked horrible. And I'm waiting on the taxi line. And all of a sudden, you come up and say, "Are you Jillian?" And it turns out we were going to a party, party conference called Bash, which no longer exists. And you're like, "I totally know who you are. In fact, I advertise on your site." And,
exactly.
And we became fast friends.
Yes.
And now, cut to probably 5 years later, right?
Exactly. Well, I don't know if I think it was 2015 when we went to that conference.
Oh, really?
But then we were lucky to see each other again the next year that we attended the conference again. And you were the rock star, one of the rock stars in the conference. Oh. You were one of the guest speakers.
Yes.
Yes, but it was like the best cab ride I could ever, it was incredible. I never remember people's faces. And for some reason, I saw you in the line and I was like, this has to be Jillian. I hope I'm not mistaken. But if I am, I don't care because nobody knows me here in Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm just going to go. And I said, Jillian. And then you kept on walking. And then I said, Jillian. And then we ended up sharing the cab, and it was like half an hour of, entrepreneurial talk. And it was I loved it. And then we hang out the whole,
the whole conference.
For the whole conference, yeah.
Yes. And then you guys, you and your sister Maggie reached out to me because I started doing some business coaching, and you guys have been working with me for a year and a half.
Correct.
Yes.
I reached out to you because at the conference, like every single advice you gave me was on point. After coming back, it's true that when you go to a conference, like a lot of things change in your life and you're like you feel like brand new and you want to implement everything you learn. But out of every single advice I received during the conference, I think your advice, which was somehow it was not in the courses of the conference, were the ones that I started implementing right away. And I have always trusted you, and you've always been such an inspiration to me and my sister, Maggie, when everything started working, not only that we started implementing those strategies, everything started, working, which is great. So when I saw that you had this course, well, not the course, like the business coaching.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I have to call Jillian.
Let's talk about Via Blossom and what inspired you and Maggie to start it.
Well, it was very organic. We both had children. We were like young children. I have two, a boy and a girl, and Maggie has two girls. And it was more like when we were planning those birthday parties, especially the first birthday party is always like so important. You want everything to be perfect. It's your dream,
right?
It's something new. So I started looking for party supplies. And also I remember when Maggie was doing her birthday parties for her young girls, she was so frustrated. And I lived it myself. I was so frustrated looking for everything, and I couldn't, I had to basically DIY a lot of things, took a lot of time, late nights. And I was like, this is not, what I wanted. I wanted to find things that were ready to go and that were absolutely beautiful for the theme that I was planning for my son in that case. And it took me like maybe 5 or 7 trips to different stores, all kinds of stores, not only party supply stores, but all kinds of stores to find what I wanted. And in the end, it turned out very beautiful, but it was a lot of hard work. And as you know, Jillian, we don't have a lot of time.
No.
So, and our hands are full. We don't have a lot of time. And you want something beautiful for your children, but at the same time, you don't want to spend hours or trips and gas, like gas, driving here and driving there. And I told Maggie, maybe we should start. And at the same time, I saw a big trend in the world. If you go to Catch My Party, you're going to find huge inspiration when it comes to, like parties.
Right.
So like the world was changing in terms of the party scene, and moms were taking, being more, having more attention to detail when it came to celebrating their birthday parties. So we saw this new trend of like more curated parties, and Maggie and I would say like, okay, we're jumping into that wagon and we're gonna do a very curated store with like hand-picked party supplies and offering amazing like party themes.
Okay, and then you thought we're going to start a Shopify store.
No.
Okay, tell us.
Unfortunately, no, Jillian. We had every single bump in the road. Stories, when you hear stories, you think that everything was perfect and they're so successful, and it's not the case. It was hard, Jillian. We were inexperienced when it came to e-commerce and platforms.
Okay.
So we followed the advice of the people that we hired, and they put us in a very bad platform.
Okay.
Or maybe those were the times. Maybe Shopify was just starting, and and we went in the platform that was very limited. Everything was hard in that platform. And we decided at some point, maybe when we were like a year and a half in business, even though we were selling pretty well, like for, the first year, I'm going to say, we were selling from the beginning. So that was a good thing. But the platform was very, very outdated. And even like printing shipping labels was a mess. Like everything was very hard. So we wanted something more, up to date, and we hired a graphic designer and a new programmer, and they migrated us to Shopify.
And how was that?
The migration was a true disaster.
Okay.
And we lost basically the traffic that we had worked hard for. We were working really hard to build traffic and, to work on our social media and everything. And suddenly we had a store that was beautiful, but it was in the middle of the desert. Nobody could see the store. We were penalized by Google and other algorithms, like at that time. And that's exactly when I met you, actually.
Yes.
And I told you the whole story.
Right.
And you took a lot of interest in us because we were a little down, to be honest, because we were selling pretty well for the first year. And then seeing our sales go down, our traffic go down,
Right.
That was not fun.
When you guys approached me, you were even thinking of closing the shop.
We were not gonna quit somehow, but we were down. When I saw you for the second time, I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
we were a little down. We were down because it was like, wow, we have a nice store.
Right.
Beautiful graphic design, but yet, and then a beautiful platform like Shopify, which is like right now the Ferrari of the e-commerce platforms. And yet, what is going on?
How did you start crawling your way out?
Well, you were one of the I'm gonna give you credit for that, Jillian.
Oh.
And also I think Maggie and I we like quitting was never like an option for us.
Okay.
We were down, but we were like, okay, it's gonna come up again. And we improved the design of the website.
Okay.
And the one thing that we did, and it was what was one of your the piece of advice that you gave me at the conference, was like, Cristina, work on your Pinterest. You're gonna see the fruit of your work. Like if you really, really put some time in that. And I only had probably like 600 followers on Pinterest when you gave me that advice.
Okay.
In a matter of a year, it grew to probably 3,000 followers. And not only that, it started producing sales like crazy.
Right.
And now we're almost reaching 6,000.
Right.
So in a matter, and you don't grow Pinterest as fast as maybe in 2010.
Yes.
It's very different now. And still, it's working very well. And it's not like we have 100,000 followers. We only have like 6,000, and they produce sales every day.
And
Our teams produce sales.
And you have Milo Tree on your site, only growing Pinterest.
Exactly. We have it on the blog, and
right.
And we have Pinterest now. Maybe in the future we're going to switch it around and do alternate between Instagram and Pinterest. But for now, we really want to have it on Pinterest.
And I think that the thing that when we started working together, my one piece of advice to you guys was to really figure out who your customer was and what they were coming to your site for. And what we decided was you are not just a general party supply seller.
Yes, and I think that was liberating, because when you have a party supply store or any kind of store, you think that you have to sell everything, like everything there is in this specific market. And I think it was liberating to know that we don't need to sell ninja party supplies, or we don't need to sell boy party supplies, or even holiday, even holiday. Like, it was okay. And actually, like, as you see with our growth, we've tripled sales selling girl party supplies, and focusing on that beautiful market of very curated girly things, and elegant things. Yes.
And the thing that I kept saying to you guys is set yourselves up as tastemakers.
Listening to our customers and what they want and what they like, we decided to sell tissue paper flowers in bundles, and it's been a total success so far. And the same thing with other collections. For example, our Tea Party collection. Now we offer a tea party in a box, and we also offer that in other party themes, and it's become a very successful, new products, new product bundles.
Right.
Very successful.
Because again, it's like in the world of e-commerce today, you've got this juggernaut like Amazon, and you can find anything on Amazon. However, why you come to your site, to Via Blossom, is because you're going to tell me what I need.
That's absolutely correct, Jillian. Like, if you land on our party themes, you're going to see that they're very complete and that you will find everything that you need. And on top of that, we offer bundles, which is even cuts the time to think and combine and coordinate this with that. Like, it's so simple. And the party lines are so beautiful that it's hard not to, to resist.
Right.
Our customers, when they buy, and this is something that makes me feel very proud, they truly put their trust in us. And when you see the average order has increased, the average order value has increased so much in the last in the last year. Because people, when they buy, it's over $100 sometimes, and sometimes we've had orders are like ranging in the 700s for parties where everything is from Via Blossom. And that makes me very proud as a store owner to see like the average price order value going up like crazy, because they're finding everything they need. They don't have to drive to 700 places. They don't have time. Moms are busy. So if you find a place where you can find what you need and see a selection where everything is coordinated for you and curated for you, we're making their lives a little easier. And at the same time, it's so good to see that the birthday parties are going to be beautiful too.
Okay, so if you were to be talking to somebody who says, I want to start a Shopify store, I want to sell stuff, like what would you say to them?
We've been through like a road has not been straight. And I think for most entrepreneurs, that's the road you're going to have. It's the hard road. It's not an easy path. You have to work very hard. But the one thing I'm going to tell them, that they have to be strategic and they have to start step by step. They cannot do everything at the same time. I think when you start a store, you're so overwhelmed and you're wearing every single hat. But you need to prioritize and say, okay, if Pinterest is working, you need to focus. And this is something that we've learned from you from the day one, is like focus on what works. If Pinterest is giving you sales, so why are you wasting your time on Facebook? Well, that is not probably producing all the sales that Pinterest is producing. So focus on this, and give all your efforts to this platform for some time. And then when you feel like you have mastered this platform, then you can move on to implementing, for example, email marketing. But you cannot, it takes a lot of time for you to become, how do you say that, skilled in every single aspect of the business. So, it takes a lot of time to become an expert in email marketing. I'm not an expert yet, but we're working towards that goal. Same thing with social media. I'm not going to be the queen in Instagram for now. That doesn't mean that one day we're going to have we're going to double, we have like 6,000 followers. Maybe one day we'll have much more. But for now, Pinterest, in our case, is the platform that works. People make the mistake when they start. They want to be in every single platform. They want to do email marketing. They want to do Facebook advertising. They want to do it all. They listen to podcasts. They read Google. They Google things. They read. They take courses, and it's overwhelming. And I think the level you cannot, and that in the end that drains you emotionally, and in the end you're not productive. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not working smarter. You're working really hard, but that doesn't mean you're working smart. Yes.
Could we talk about Instagram for a little bit, and kind of initially how you were thinking about it, and then how you think about it today?
Yes. In the beginning, of course, you go to Instagram, it's instant gratification. Like every time you post something, a lot of people like it, and it's amazing. But then if you look at your analytics, that's where the truth comes out. And this is where you are going to realize, okay, is this platform really working for me now? I looked at my analytics, and this was also advice from you, Jillian. And suddenly we realized that we're not getting the traffic that we were hoping for on Instagram. At the same time, you see a lot of people on Instagram like rocking Instagram. They have Insta stories. They have a lot of followers. They're like Instagram stars. And a lot of us entrepreneurs, we want to become that. But it's not so much the amount of followers you have. It's what if it's working, and that's what we realize. Okay, Instagram it's a platform that we work on every week, and we post frequently, but we're not concentrating our efforts 100% on this platform because it's not bringing the sales. So a lot of people want to be rock stars, and they are not being business people. If you're not getting the sales, I don't recommend putting a lot of time into for example, Instagram. You need to work on what works. You need to focus on what works.
Yes.
Yes. And I think Maggie and I have become very savvy about what works and what is doing well. And now and also we have to recognize when something is not on trend anymore or not as desirable as it was in the past, because some of those collections were hits in the past, but not now. So in terms of purchasing inventory, in terms of inventory, we have to be very savvy about what we buy and how much to stock on the inventory,
Right.
Yes.
And there's always this uncertainty. Will this
Yes,
sell?
there's always an uncertainty, correct.
But
as you go, I think that anxiety, it's lower now. I feel like when we buy, we know what we're buying more. And I think it's because time and experience, like you have to have, collections that didn't do that well, in order for you to learn, what does well, what works,
Right. One thing I have to give you and Maggie props for, and I say this to you guys, so this isn't necessarily new, but what I love about working with you both is that you will take something and you will run with it. I will work with clients and I'll say, okay, let's talk about your business. And then we come up with an action plan of like, wow, you could do this or you could do this. And I can feel them freezing, thinking that somehow I have the answer.
Yes. Resistant to change.
What'd you say?
resistant to change in,
Or is
you
it,
know,
or
something.
that there are easy things you can do, and yes, there are some easy things you can do. However, most of it is hard work.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for for saying that.
Because you know, and
Yes,
you guys, and this is the other thing. You're not technical. You and Maggie, you've taught yourself stuff.
totally. Yes, exactly. I think you know, if you don't fail a little, if you don't find bumps in the road, you're never gonna learn. And I think I would not, I don't regret any of the little bumps, even the migration, which was a disaster, because you learn. And now, anytime we're gonna invest in something new, we know that we're gonna encounter difficulties, but we're gonna know how to deal with them in a more, you know, mature way somehow. I don't know.
Right,
Like,
right.
yes. And we're gonna deal with them like with a cold mind and say, okay, let's just do and fix it, and do what we need to do to get
Yes,
it done. To get it done.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the thing that, what was really exciting was you guys had this idea, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're trying to curate collections, but here is like, we're going to put together a party in a box. And we're going to see if, and we talk a lot about trying stuff, testing,
Yes,
testing,
testing,
testing.
testing.
And you put it together, you put it up, and then that first day, what happened?
It's sold out.
It sold out.
Correct. It's incredible. Yes,
So
yes.
you were
I
like,
think.
so we all went, oh my God, ding, 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 go toward this.
Yes, exactly. And I think it's been the motto, like focus on what works. And we have been doing that since day one with you. You know, since the first day we started working with you, I think that was the first day that you started coaching us. You told us, you know, you have to work on what, you know, how you have to put your effort on the things that are working. And I think ever since we implemented this mindset and we changed our minds, and we started not looking at what other people were doing, you know,
Yes.
not being influenced by anything else, or not being overwhelmed trying to do everything at the same time and taking everything step by step. I think everything started producing, you know, the fruit that we invested, you know, like it, everything started working out
Yes. And I will
for the
say
better.
that you guys have been less focused on your competition.
And I don't think Maggie and I have been crazy focused on the competition, because I think Via Blossom has always had some kind of identity, you know, and
Yes.
our style has always been different. And that's what we always wanted to do. Like, we always wanted to have something different. So we try not to focus. And Maggie is a person, my sister especially, she never focuses on anybody. She doesn't, she's not influenced by people that have more, people are, she's not that type of person. And I like that a lot about her. And I'm a little like that too, you know. And so we tried to have a unique store from the beginning, but now even more, like you're saying, but we try to hyper focus on what's working for
Right.
us.
Right. And really understanding your customers and your brand. So what's it,
Understanding the customer,
what,
correct, and talking to the customer a lot. I spend a lot of time talking to my customer, and I love it. And they love everything, you know. And it's so rewarding to see happy customers. And sometimes even when there's problems with the post office, we go out of our way to help our customers. And these are the best opportunities for you to become a hero and do everything for them. And also to get insight of their shopping experience, of the products. They are the ones that then send the photos and the happy, comments on happy emails, so it's so rewarding.
now what is it like working with your sister? And you guys are in different countries.
It is. It works out very well. We've always been very close, and we have always shared. When we were little, I'm gonna say we shared the same room. Then we went to the same university. We went to Boston College, and we both got business degrees. So we are very. We know each other very well, and we're at the same time. I'm gonna say we're very different.
Yes, very different.
Maggie, yes, Maggie is very organized, very one thing at a time type of person. She is very technical more than me. And she focuses on anything that has to do with working with how do you say that? Photo editing, accounting, anything that you can do through a computer, because my sister is located overseas.
And
So
she's in the Dominican Republic.
exactly. And I work more, I'm more of a creative. So I work on shooting products. Well, the list of things that we have to do is huge. So I'm basically summarizing, and it's, but it's just so much. But Maggie has to do everything she does she has to sit in a computer. I manage a warehouse. And on top of that, I have to do, we have to work with inventory. I take photos. I do photo shoots of the products. So I have more of a creative role. And I'm more in social media than Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but we work very well. Our personalities, they go very well, because Maggie is a little bit more serious and I'm more creative crazy. So
Yes.
Maggie tells me, "Hey, Cristina, you're flying, like put your feet on the ground."
Right.
Because I sometimes I want to do so much, and sometimes I get too excited, and then Maggie tells me, "Okay, yes, we're gonna do it, but you need to be calm, and we're gonna do it when it's time to do it." So it's a good balance.
It is a good
It's a good
balance.
balance. I feel like sometimes I'm being more creative, and I love to listen to podcasts, knowing what's the next best thing. I love to inform myself on what's people are doing. Not necessarily that we're gonna do it all. Like I said, like we were gonna focus on what works, and we are gonna do everything step by step. But Maggie, and she's more technical. Maggie is more a type A person. She's very organized, and she has her schedule, perfectly designed, and she knows exactly what she's doing every day. And I'm more of a free spirit in that sense.
Yes, definitely.
It's hard for me to focus more like Maggie.
Yes.
But sometimes you need a person like me too, because
Totally.
I'm like, yeah, you need something like, okay, this is the new thing, let's do it. Like, I'm more adventurous and a little more of a risk taker. Maggie is more conservative.
Totally. But it is a good balance for you guys.
Yes, it is.
Because you're the one who dreams up the ideas and Maggie's the one who holds your feet down.
Exactly. Yes.
So
and then she knows how to execute them a little. She can take my idea.
Yes.
And then she's like, for example, with the party in a box, I'm like, let's do this and let's bundle. And then Maggie is, okay, let me see how we can do this.
Right.
So it works very well.
Right. And at the end of it was an accounting issue when you first started doing it. You had to figure out how to do it and how to account for it.
There's a lot of work. People think that having a store is simple and easy, and it's just a lot of different ramifications, a lot of different things that you need to do every single day, And this is why you need to really make your time valuable every day, because we don't have a lot of time.
Yes.
So everything you do every day, I feel like at this point with the business, I feel like if I do one thing and I do it very well, I feel good.
Yes.
Every day, because I wanted to do 5 things every day. And then I was very frustrated. Like I couldn't do any of them, or I did this one and I could barely make it and it's not good. And now I'm different. I feel like, okay, if I do one thing and I do it very well and I know it's going to work for my business, I feel good.
Good. Now, what are some of these podcasts? So let's say I want to start a store. What would you recommend I listen to?
Well, if you are going to be in e-commerce, I love My Wife Quit Her Job by Steve Shu.
Okay.
And I absolutely love E-commerce Influence. I think those 2 podcasts are a very good way to start. The first one with My Wife Quit Her Job, he's going to tell you a lot of basic things about starting a business. So it's a lot of very valuable information, and also more advanced techniques for business. But e-commerce Influence, I love it. They focus a lot on email marketing, which is one of the things that we're targeting and that we're focusing on right now. And they focus a lot on Facebook advertising, which is something that we're going to be doing in the near future. So those 2 podcasts are very valuable.
That's terrific. Okay, one piece of parting.
One more podcast
that
I love, because Pinterest is working very well for us as an e-commerce business. Simple P Media.
Oh, I love
Wonderful.
her. Love her.
Wonderful if you are going to be serious about Pinterest. If you're going to get serious about Pinterest, you need to listen to this podcast.
I love it. Okay, one piece of parting advice.
And your podcast. Sorry, Jillian. Of course.
Oh, thank you.
This one is wonderful. I have listened to every single episode, and every single person that you bring gives me something new, something new to learn. So yes, this one, of course.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I need one piece of parting advice, and then let people know how they can reach out to you.
Okay, one party advice.
Piece of parting. One thing to leave that you would say, do this or.
Yes, I feel like you can, it's impossible to do everything at the same time. So if you're starting a business, you need to focus on one thing and do it well, and also be willing to learn every day. Maggie has become a Photoshop expert. She took a class, and from there she flew by herself, and she is doing an amazing job when it comes to photo editing and even graphic design. She's becoming a self-taught graphic designer. I didn't know how to use a camera before starting a business, and now I know how to take photos. Mm-hmm. You need to learn step by step. You cannot do everything. You cannot go and take a Photoshop class and do QuickBooks in accounting, and do this. Everything has to be, you need to allocate some time for everything, but you cannot become overwhelmed trying to do it all in one day. Mm-hmm. It's step by step, and it's a very, very long walk. You need to walk, and you need to be persistent. You can't give up. But I feel like if there's something that is working for you, you're getting sales from something, then try to elaborate and make it better and better every day. For us, for example, we have a collection that sells extremely well, and it's our Tea Party collection. So every day we try to make that collection even stronger.
I love it. All right. How can people reach out to you if they have questions or they want to see what you're doing?
Okay. Our website is viablossom.com. It's VIA blossom like flower.com. And our email is info@viablossom.com if they have any questions. Our Instagram is viablossom.shop, and our Pinterest is viablossom.
Perfect. I love it. All right. Well, you know how much I love you guys.
Oh, thank you,
and
Jillian.
Again,
I adore you.
I love working with you guys.
Well, it's been a blessing working with you. I think we've learned so much, and the proof is in the pudding. Our sales are so high, so incredible. We've tripled sales in 2017, and we're doubling sales in 2018. So the future looks very bright, and I want to thank you for everything you've done for us.
Are you trying to grow your social media followers and email subscribers? Well, if you've got 2 minutes, I've got a product for you. It's MiloTree. MiloTree is a smart pop-up slider that you install on your site, and it pops up and asks your visitors to follow you on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, or subscribe to your list. It takes 2 minutes to install. We offer a WordPress plugin or a simple line of code, and it's Google friendly on mobile and desktop. So we know where your traffic is coming from. We show a Google friendly pop-up on desktop and a smaller Google friendly pop-up on mobile. Check it out. Sign up today and get your first 30 days free.